Alright, what's up guys? So finally something is happening with Bitcoin. We've been ranging for quite some time now, but finally we're getting a move. So it's looking quite interesting. So we're going to jump in and take a look at Bitcoin. We're also going to take a look at a couple of Forex pairs. We're going to take a look at the BTC dominance. And we're going to see if we maybe can find some interesting altcoin setups. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so here's Bitcoin. I'm not really going to take a look at, well, I can show you the daily time frame right here. And of course, first of all, before I start, I want to give a huge shout out and a big thank you to PrimeXBT. PrimeXBT is the main exchange where I trade all my Bitcoin trades and all my Forex trades. So you will see that the Forex pairs I'm trading and watching, it's actually the ones that are available on PrimeXBT, and that's because that's where I'm trading my Forex trade. It's a great way to use your BTC as collateral. So if you're a crypto trader and looking to enter the Forex market, try out the Forex action, right? Because we're getting a lot of actions in the Forex market too. So definitely check that out. If you're interested in joining the PrimeXBT exchange, check out the link in the description below where you will get a reduction in fees if you use my link. And if you use my link and also use my bonus, which is Libs42 bonus, you will actually get a 50% increase on your first deposit. So very much worth it. Check it out, guys. All right, so here's the daily range. Yesterday's daily candle closed above range EQ, so we kind of reclaimed range EQ here, which also means we reclaimed the daily 21 EMA and the daily 55 EMA. The daily 21 being the yellow and the daily 55 being the green, right? We have reclaimed those, and we had a nice bounce of the daily 21, as you can see here. A complement with range EQ. Really, what I would like to see is a daily open and close above range EQ. So if this daily candle can close in 12 hours above 9,300, we have a confirmed reclaim of the range EQ. But the most important thing here that I wanted to show you guys is this 4-hour range right here. So you might remember the updates a while back where I've talked about, this potential 4-hour uptrend right here. So we had this basically this uptrend right here with the low, the high, the higher high, and a potential new higher low right there. This is where I want to enter, and I want to use this area as my stop loss level, my invalidation level, because breaking this area to the downside would mean that we create a lower low like you're seeing here, right? And that would invalidate that setup. This gray box is very important. Why is it important? Well, it's quite simple. This is the area that when you broke this area, you started you broke the potential 4-hour uptrend. You had this 4-hour uptrend. It was looking very good until you broke this area. So that's actually the area I'm looking for price to reclaim, right? So unless we can actually reclaim that area, I'm not really sure in Bitcoin's continuation to the upside. Looking at the 4-hour here, we have a very nice rounded retest of range high here. And if you add the RLC here, and you measure it from, you can first use the very low of this move to the high. You will kind of see how the 618 is very close to this wick. But if you use this low right here, the beginning of this candle, so this whole candle right here, which could be viewed as the breakout move, right? You have the RLC right here where you bounce, so that's a nice confluence with the range high. A lot of people are probably longing this previous range high area because we have a pretty nice round retest, but a lot of people are also probably forgetting the importance of this gray box, because this is where, when we broke down, we broke the 4-hour uptrend. So it's very important for me that we see a 4-hour open and close above this level, right? So if we see a 4-hour open and close above the gray box, and interestingly enough here, we had a webinar in the Burp Nest yesterday, and we talked about exactly this scenario. We talked about the price getting rejected here, bouncing here, and then again closing a 4-hour open and close above, which means that this is now your invalidation level. We were talking about, like, do you want to long this area? Well, obviously I'm not interested in longing this blindly, because the fact that the invalidation level is, I would say, all the way down here, right? Or at least down here, and the risk to reward isn't really great, because if you long here, that's going to be a resistance. So it's just very bad risk to reward. But if we can get a 4-hour open and close and a rounded retest of this level like this, now this is going to be your invalidation level. So that's very beautiful. Just a very nice long setup that's possibly emerging right here. But we need to let price action develop, and we need to let price action show us the way, right? We're not gonna blindly buy anything because we think price is going somewhere. We need to actually wait for price action to tell us that, all right, I'm ready to move now, and this is the setup that I'm showing you. That's when we enter, right? All right, so that's Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the BTC dominance chart. All right, so here's the BTC dominance chart, and the reason for, the reason for watching this and why I'm interested in this is, well, probably said this a lot of times, but when the BTC dominance is in a downtrend, alts are risk on. When the BTC dominance is in an uptrend, alts are to be considered a risk off asset or risk on opportunity, right? So what we have been seeing for this, last couple of months is a downtrend right here, where we had a very nice altcoin window, and we then had a prolonged altcoin window with this dump. People were starting to call this an alt season. Obviously, I mean, guys, it's not an alt season. It's what I would call an alt window, and then you have a prolonged alt window. Alt season is just, we're probably not going to see an alt season again, but I guess these types of altcoin windows is going to be called alt seasons in the future, and I think these will happen from time to time. They do happen from time to time, and they will most likely continue to happen from time to time. And here you have another one, and here you have another one, and you have consolidation, ranging action between those, just like you had a ranging action here. And I do think that we're going to get a couple of weeks of ranging action here, which means that Bitcoin is probably gonna, have a big move coming soon, which will obliterate whatever. That's the wrong word. God damn it. So Bitcoin will probably have a big move, and the BTC dominance will either range here or continue to the upside. But we will probably, like, if this area breaks to the downside, we are most likely going to see another altcoin window, again. So I remember tweeting on Twitter that if we break this gray box to the downside, we are most likely going to see a prolonged altcoin window again. We're not breaking this area to the downside. We're not breaking above this red box. So we're ranging, right? We're ranging on the BTC dominance, which means that you have a time of indecisive price action for alts most likely. And we're going to pivot over to that and see. We're going to take a look at a couple of alts and see if we can find anything interesting. So we're going to start off here by taking a look at BAT. This is a setup that I've shared in the Burb Nest quite a while ago, and this is exactly what I'm saying, right? You can kind of view that like this move right here, happened when you had that prolonged altcoin window for alts, and then you had another move up inside that range that I've just showed you for another nice move. But you're not seeing an indecisive price action for altcoins, and it's kind of clear here in BAT, right? But I still think this is a very nice setup for the long term. I mean, with a 10% stop loss and a potential 6% gain, I think this is very much active still, and I do really like this setup. And the whole idea here is, I mean, we had a very nice, prices bouncing around this area where you have the 200 simple, the 200 EMA, the 21 EMA, and the 55 EMA. So very nice confluence inside that area. You're reclaiming this gray box, which is high time frame resistance area, and price has now traded above that area for quite some time. I do not really like the fact that we're coming back down to test that area. We need to, start the continuation of this uptrend for me to be safe on this one. As soon as we break down this gray box, we're probably going to see lower prices. But right now, this is looking good for a, long-term hold, in my opinion. So I don't know if you guys remember this setup that I've showed you guys in I don't remember when, but I do remember we've taken a look at this in a couple of market updates back, or maybe it was in the live stream, the last live streams. I'm probably going to do a live stream on Sunday too, just so you guys know, probably around 18 or 19 UTC or something like that in the evening. All right, so we took a look at this one, right? And this is just absolutely beautiful, right? So we were looking at this setup, right? And we wanted to see a reclaim of this green box right here, right? And we wanted to see a rounded retest of this green box with our stop loss below this last swing low. And man, did this turn out beautifully, right? So yeah, just pumped straight up to take profit for a 9.75 R trade, a a 36, almost 37% win with a almost 4% stop loss. That's just amazing, right? So if any one of you got in on this, congratulations. I did not buy this. I feel like an idiot, but the setup was just very, very clear. Even on the 4-hour, it was pretty clear, right? You had this sweep of this support, you had the reclaim, and this beautiful price action after that. So very nice stuff. And here's the WTC BTC. This is a setup that we shared in the Burbness too, and it's looking quite good, right? You have a very clear bullish trend on the 4-hour. We have now, we're taking out take profit 1. We have a couple of daily closes above the TP1, but I'd like to see a daily open and close above TP1 before we move our stop to entry. And I'm looking at these wicks right here. I would love to have my stop at entry here. So we've exited the 25% of this position, and if we can get a 4-hour, a daily open and close above the first take profit, we're probably going to hit the second take profit, and that's a perfect time to move your stop into entry, where you've exited 50% and you now have a free position. So very, very nice. All right, so here's KMD BTC Komodo. This is something I'm watching. I really like what I'm seeing. I get a lot of stuff on the chart right now, so I should probably clean this up, but I do really like what I'm seeing here. So we have a pretty clear uptrend on the daily. We're coming up into this resistance area right here, and let's see, where do we have the 200 simple on the daily? Well, this is very, very much outdated. The 200 simple is down here. 21 EMA and the weekly is all the way down here. So we have now reclaimed the 21 EMA daily. I mean the 21 EMA and the weekly. The trend is looking very, very bullish, and I would love to see a retest, a break and retest of this area, right? It's also confluent with, if you watch the 200 EMAs right in the middle of this one. So we're going to move that one right there. We're going to name it 200 EMA on the daily. But this is just, this is just beautiful, 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 beautiful confluent with this SR level right here. I would love to see a clean daily open and close above this area to long a potential retest, right? Now, where would you put the TP? The first take profit is most likely going to be at this level above, right? So this red box above is resistance, and that's probably going to be our first take profit. But really, what I'm looking for is a move all the way up into this area, right? So that would be a good 4% move. That's what I'm looking for, and the setup would probably look like, if we get a retest with the current market structure, the setup would probably look something like this, right? The break and retest of the 200 simple, first take profit at a 2R up in this region, and second take profit here, third take profit here, and the fourth take profit for a good 38% move and a 8R trade. That's what I'm looking at KMD, but we'll gotta wait for actual confirmation before we take a trade like this. So another one I want to show you guys is NEO. So watch this, right? You have a very, very important high time frame resistance area right here. We're gonna add the moving average to see if we can find some confluence. So look at that, right? You have a very beautiful reclaim of the 21 EMA and the weekly. You're reclaiming here with a weekly open and close above the 21 EMA and the weekly. You're getting a pretty nice bounce off the 21 EMA on the weekly right here. We're gonna move to the daily. Where do we have the daily moving averages? I would love to see like the 200 EMA or the 200 simple inside this red box resistance, and let's pretty much what you get, right? The 200 EMA and the 200 simple is right below here. You get the 21 EMA crossing the 55 to the upside, which happens right before a pretty big move right here, and well, not right before, but it's obviously quite bullish thing when it happens. So what am I looking for here on NEO? Well, I'm looking for a high time frame trade, right? So if we can reclaim this area with a clean open and close above, a rounded retest on a daily, I would love to get in on a trade here. If everything lines up, if the BTC dominance is falling, and if Bitcoin allows for this, I could really see this run, right? And I'm thinking, you know, we could see prices all the way up to this high up here for a good 34% move. And obviously the stop loss don't have to be this tight, but you have to, you know, adjust that one when it happens. I do really like this one. I do really like this one, and we have a potential trade on this one if we can reclaim this high time frame resistance area for a longer term hold. And when I'm talking about longer term holds, I'm talking about, you know, weeks, not months or years, but, you know, a week or two, tops 3 weeks, something like that, right? All right, so the last thing I want to show you guys is euro versus the Japanese yen. So this is part of my publicly traded journal for Forex, where I share all my trades in the Burbnest, and I share all my journaling experience in there too. And I just want to show you guys a winning trade, but a trade that could have been such I mean, it could have been such a much bigger winner, right? So, all right, so I'm gonna go through the actual setup right here. So what I was looking for, let's go. So I was watching this range right here, this white dashed lines right here. So I was watching this range right here. We had the breakout out of this range, and I was now looking to long the first retest after the round retest, just like we got, right? But I was waiting for actual bullish confirmation of a bounce, right? What I was looking for was basically a bearish engulfing on the hourly, which we got right here. And I've entered on this one, so I've entered pretty late, right? But I got my, you know, my take profit at 1-1, where I wanted to exit, you know, 50% up here, and add a trailing stop and move my stop in, you know, to entry for a free trade. Now what happened here was I've actually exited right here. I've exited right here and added the trailing stop that was equal to my entry. So I risked 1% on this. I exited, and you know, this was only a 0.25% win on my portfolio. So a quite, you know, a winner, but a quite low bad winner, right? So what I've added in my journal here, and what I wanted to talk to you guys about quickly, is just letting your winners run, right? It's just so super important, right? If I were just to have you know, let this trade develop and kept my stop loss where I wanted to be originally, this would have worked out beautifully. You can even see this wick here came down and touched the RLC. So I think that what happened right here was I was actually going to bed right here, and I really wanted to secure this position because I had a pretty bad loser before this one. So I think, you know, the fear and greed kind of got a hold of me here, and I've decided to exit and move my stop, you know, trailing stop that would equal to my entry target. And this could have been so much bigger. I mean, you could have taken, let's say I was taking, you know, 50% up here. I could have then trailed my stop up and just, you know, put my stop below this low, and then I would put my stop below this low, and I would just trail my stop up, and this would have been such a beautiful trade, right? And so what I've added in my journal here is actually, you know, really to let the trade develop and stick to your original idea and really let the winners run. Because if you don't let your winners run, there's no way that your winners is going to be, you know, bigger than your losers. So even like if you let your winners run, you can really get away with a low win rate. Because if your winners are much bigger than your losers, you can get away with a pretty low win rate. But if you do these types of mistakes right here, if you get greedy and exit too early, your winners will be way smaller than your losers, and that's when you will start losing money even with a high win rate, right? All right, guys, so that's it. That's everything I wanted to talk about today. Remember the live stream on Sunday, and also check out the new educational video I made on horizontal support and resistances in the playlist Learn Technical Analysis. All right, that's it. Take care, guys, and see you guys next time. Bye.